In this video, we will learn how to write nested if statements in Java. Consider the following decision structure, which uses a simple if-else conditional statement to classify the speed of an aircraft based on its Mach number. If the Mach number is greater than 1, we print out that the aircraft can be either hypersonic or supersonic. Else, which covers transonic and subsonic. However, to keep things simple, we are going to assume that anything below 1 is subsonic. So this means that this decision structure is classifying the aircraft as one of two major groups, either subsonic or non-subsonic, which could be hyper or supersonic. What if we want to further classify the non-subsonic aircraft and distinguish the supersonic from hypersonic aircraft? Notice that both of them share that their Mach number is greater than 1. However, supersonic is also less than or equal to 5, while hypersonic is greater than 5. Therefore, we can add another if statement that further checks the Mach number of the aircraft that already has a Mach number greater than 1 and compare it to 5. This structure is referred to as nested if statements, since we have an if statement nested inside another if statement. If the nested if statement is in the true branch of the outer if statement, it will execute if and only if the condition of the outer if statement is met. To write a Java code that expresses this logical structure, we replace the print statement with a complete if-else structure. Notice how the inner if statement is aligned and has the same indentation, whereas the outer else is aligned with the outer if statement. This is a quick demo for nested if statements. So here we have the stacked if structure for classifying the aircraft speed. And one way to do nested if statement is to say that if Mach is greater than 5, then it's hypersonic. And then you could say else. And for the else, you could enclose everything that is other than greater than 5 in the else clause. So it would look like this, and here I could also add, even though it's redundant, but just to make it easy to read. So as you can see here, you have the if clause, which if Mach is greater than 5, then it's hypersonic. Else means it's less than 5, and if it's less than 5, then you have the other possibilities that it's less than or equal to 5, greater than 1. So here we said in this case that would be redundant here, right? Because the else means that you are not greater than 5, so you must be less than or equal to 5. All right, so if you check Mach is greater than 1, this goes all the way from 1 all the way to 5. So that's a way of saying nested. And you could think of it, you could have any levels of nesting here. So I could say, for example, here, this is another F within that else clause. And then for the else of that statement, right, everything else could be here. So you see, it keeps aligning this. So here, that else is matched to this F. And this is the body of the else. Then within the body of the else, I have another F, which is matched to this else, right? And then this is everything inside, and you can keep doing this. However, you try to use the nested if structures if needed, right? So do not try to go on and put every single structure that you have as a nested if structure. If it's not needed, then you can remove that level and just keep it simple. So if I run this, I could go and say let's say 200 or 250, right? So it still classifies it as subsonic because 250 is going to make Mach less than 1. So is it greater than 5? No. Then it goes to the else. Then inside the else asks, is it greater than 1? No. Then it's in the else. And within the else, is it equal to 1? No. Is it less than 1? Yes. Then it's subsonic, right? So it's still working. It just groups that in a way that the else here means everything that is less than 5. The else here means everything that is not or less than 1, right? Or equal to 1. And here you are just making that fine-grained classification saying, is it equal to 1 or is it less than 1?